Wagwan peeps, thank you so much again for joining me on yet another video. If you'd like to see how I got this beginner friendly makeup look, then keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So stay tuned. Enjoy. Okay guys, so this is another voiceover. It's very hard for me to do talk through videos because of all the traffic that is going on throughout the day. So this is the easiest way to communicate to you guys, to be honest. Anyways, this is a beginner friendly makeup tutorial. So for all the ladies and girls, teenagers, who would love to do their or try to do their own makeup but are lacking on some of the products, this is the video for you. Remember that good old anchor pencil, it's still around, ladies. Very cheap, so you can get your hands on one of those, or we have other brands as well, like the LA Girl eyeliner pencil that can be used to fill in your brows. So as usual, you're going to outline your brows with the pencil first, fill in any sparse area, and then you go in to set your brows with, well, I am using the Duo Lash Glue in the clear one. So when it dries, the residue dries clear, so you won't have anything showing on your brows. Now, for all the persons who might have foundation but might not have concealer, this is an old beauty hack for you. I am using my foundation to clean up my brows. I am using a lighter shade, just slightly lighter, to use and clean up my brows. Alright, so you're going to use the same technique as you would using a concealer. Take your rounded flat top brush, gently, slowly, as precisely as possible, outline or carve out the bottom portion of your brows. Alright, so you're going to do the same process with each brow. Take your time, be as precise. If you have to get yourself a little hand mirror to do so, you can go ahead. But remember, the brow is one of the most, well, is one of the first things that people see. So you want to take your time to do it properly, so it looks nice and it doesn't look, you know, out there and grabbing the wrong attention. Now I'm going in with a fluffy brush, a dense fluffy brush, to just diffuse that product onto my eyelids. Okay, so you're going to take your time with this process as well, because one, your eyes are very sensitive, so don't rush. You don't want things to get into your eyes. Okay, now I'm using the same brush to outline the upper portion of my brows, and as you can see, I'm not using the tips, I'm using the sides to do this. For me, I find it works easier and faster. And again, going in with that fluffy brush just to diffuse that product, and as you can see, it blends very well. And you want to make sure your brows are looking as symmetrical as possible. And there we have it. That took me, I think, less than 5 minutes to do, to be honest. Now, just before I apply my eyeshadow, and yes, I'm still using that foundation as my eyeshadow base. I'm doing something very simple yet elegant today, nothing too fussy. So I'm using my Juvia's Place Berries palette, using the lightest spring shade as my transition color, and I am packing that on a fluffy brush to my liking. And I have hooded eyes, so I'm taking that color, that shade, above my crease. Child, I don't like my eyes, to be honest. I hate doing eyeshadow on my eyes because of the hood. It just doesn't look right to me, but I mean, we have to change up our look sometimes, right? Now I'm taking a darker purple shade to put into the crease, packing on that transition shade on the other eye. And while packing, you want to make sure that you're blending as well. And for more pop of color, of course, you can go in with an eyeshadow base, something a little lighter, so that your colors can pop even more. But for me, I'm not doing anything much. I'm just doing a simple eye, nothing too fussy. So I'm okay with the color payoff. So I'm going in the outer corner of the eye and building up that darker shade to create depth and definition. Now I'm packing on that white shade, and when packing on a shade like white, you need to pack all over the area you want it. Don't pack on the same spot because it will look chalky. So you want to pat all over the area you want it, not on one spot. Alright? And that's the Warrior 2 palette, I believe. And as you can see, as I pack, it's blending. So you pack on the shadow, you blend as you go along. And going back in that light pink shade, just blending, diffusing, and let everything, so that everything can tie in together. And creating that depth on the outer corner. Just making sure that everything blends to my liking. So if you have to go back in with a couple shades, you can. So I lost the footage. I'm so sorry of when I was doing my eyeliner, but it's a simple wing. It's a simple wing. So I just did my liner, added some mascara, and now I'm just wiping off the excess eyeshadow that was left on my face due to fallout. I had already moisturized at the beginning of the video, so now I am just putting on my primer from Maybelline. and that's a Pro Glow primer. I'm just using my finger at random to just place some foundation on my face. I've used the Maybelline shade Superstay foundation in the shade 355, which is coconut. And yes, it may look a little orange on me for some reason. I think it's a camera, but it oxidizes, so that means it gets a little darker. And as you can see, by the end of the video, you will see that things blend perfectly, so don't mind the orangeness at first. Now you want to blend out your foundation to the T. Make sure you do not have any line of demarcation on the forehead or under the chin. Now packing on that highlighting shade. It's a couple shade lighter than my skin tone. And I'm going in with a dense brush to blend that out under my eye and on my cupid's bow, under my nose. And as you can see from the footage, this blends like butter. Okay, butter. And we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. So I want to pat that in. Do not wipe your brush, please. It will disturb your foundation underneath and all the other products underneath. So what you want to do is just to patting motions only, okay? And as usual, we're going to put that highlighting shade on the forehead, on the bridge of the nose, and on the chin. And just a little dab on the forehead, because girl, my forehead is already pronounced, so it's big enough, so I'm not highlighting too much. Can't do it. You see that forehead? Lord have mercy. So you're going to blend that on the chin as well and down the bridge of the nose. So I am setting my face with that Sasha loose powder under the eyes, on every area that I have highlighted. So I want to go in and press that powder in. I do not bake. I use as much powder as I want to set my face. I do not use any excess to bake. Even though I have oily skin, I find it tends to make me look ashy afterwards. So I skip that process. I do not bake at all. I don't even bake on my clients. So I just press in that powder that I know I want, and that's enough to set my face or set the highlighted areas. And again, I just use dabbing motions to do that as well. Now I'm going in with my Milani pressed powder in the shade Dark to set the rest of my face. And as you can see, dabbing motions again. You do not want to disturb any product underneath. And I'm putting just lightly dusting that powder all over the face. One, it will tone down the highlighted areas if you think it's too light. as well. So I'm going in with my Black Radiance contour palette using a fluffy brush to pack on that product. I'm not using a contour brush today, just to show you diversity of your products and of your tools. I'm using my fluffy powder brush to pack on that product and to blend as well as I go along. And with the fluffy brush, you can go a little faster with the process as well because it's bigger, so it tends to, you know, put the product exactly where you want it and blend it out as you go along, even better and faster. If you don't believe you can use the powder brush, you can go ahead and stick to the contour brush. I'm putting some of that contouring shade under the chin as well and on the neckline. Using that same, I think, foundation brush, I'm just packing on that same face powder, the pressed powder, Milani pressed powder, using that to just do a reverse contour under my contour line, under the cheekbones. And no, as I said, I don't bake, so you'll see me dusting off that in just a sec. And while dusting, you blend, okay? Now using a small fluffy brush to just contour the bridge of my nose, I'm starting under the eyebrows, working my way on the sides of my nose. And you want to be as light-handed as you can, because you don't want a pronounced line, 2 lines down your nose. You want it to be nice and blended. You don't want the lines looking too harsh, so you'll see me go back in with my face powder just to diffuse those 2 lines. And I'm using that same berries palette to just apply the lightest shade pink that I put on my eyes to put on my cheek as my blush. And out of the Warrior palette, I'm using 2 shades, a light gold shade and a more holographic lighter shade, I think, to do my highlight. So that's on the higher parts of my cheekbones and on the bridge of my nose and the tip, a little on my forehead. And Lord, I shouldn't have, but what the heck. Because it makes my forehead a little bit more pronounced, but yeah, it's okay. And every step I do, I make sure to blend. So I go back with my fluffy brush to just blend over, wipe away any excess. Now I'm using this pinkish shade nude lip gloss for my lippy today. I love it. It's just subtle and nice. I didn't put on any lip liner or anything, just the lip gloss. I like simple lips. I don't like my lips to be out there. I think they're cute when they're more subtle, you know. That's my personal preference still. I do wear lipsticks, but on everyday wear, I prefer lip gloss. And even if I do wear lipstick, sometimes I remove it throughout the day and apply my lip gloss. Now I'm just using my rose water setting spray to just melt everything together. Going back under the eyes, the lower lash line, to just apply that darker berry shade, blend that out so that everything ties together. I've already went and highlighted my inner tear duct. And diffusing that darker berry shade with a light pink. And that's the final look, guys. I applied my lashes off camera, so that's the look. I love the skin. My skin isn't perfect, but I love the skin. It looks really good, refreshed and nice.